Okay, so to begin creating your first form inside of your account, once you've logged in and you've landed on the dashboard, go ahead and click on the Sites tab here on the left-hand sidebar. This is going to automatically redirect us to funnels. So let's go ahead and click on Forms up here in the top toolbar. In this section is where we're going to be able to manage and create all of our forms going forward within our account. So to start creating a form, click on the Add Form button up here in the top right corner, and we can either start this from scratch or we can choose from a template. If you want to choose from a template, it's going to open up a new window and show you a list of thousands of pre-built templates that we've built on your behalf, allowing you to use any of these and within just a few clicks, customize them to your business and begin receiving information and leads from prospects. However, for the purpose of this tutorial to really break down how to create forms, we're not going to use templates. So we're going to close out of this feature. We're going to go back to Add Form and click Start from Scratch. And this is going to start loading up the form builder within your account. So to start with, the form builder will build a default form to show you how things look. Now, if you click on any of these elements, it's actually going to show you the settings for that element here on the right-hand side. We'll see a plus icon here. And if we click that, it's actually going to show us all of the different elements that we can add to our form when we're building our form. You can also add custom fields, and this is where we can input any custom fields that we like to input those fields into our form to start collecting custom information if needed. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to stick to quick add and stick to the pre-made elements that we can add into our form. So let's start by building a very simple form by erasing all of the information within this default form. So to begin, we need to identify what information we want to include on our form. So in most cases, we're going to start here with a first name and a last name. And you can add these just by clicking on the card and just dragging that onto the form. So again, if I remove last name, click on last name, drag it onto the form, drop it, and now we have a last name field on our form. If we click on these, we can actually see that these are labeled first name and that the query key is also called first name. So this query key is what we can use in our automations, in our marketing, to start pulling names and data from our contacts list. So whatever gets entered inside of this first name box will now be registered as this lead's first name. So in our marketing and our automations, we can start using quick tags and automation tags to pull those information automatically. And we're going to stick to a very basic form here. So let's say all we want now is an email and a button. So we've added the email and now we're going to add a button underneath that. So now we have first name, last name, email. However, most regions do have data protection laws, and we need to take those data protection laws seriously wherever you are. So we recommend adding a consent form into your forms to ensure that the user who submits the form is giving the owner consent to receive communication after submitting their information on this form. To do so, go ahead and scroll down to the very bottom and you'll see T&C. Click and drag this card onto your form, and now you can see we have a consent form automatically made here on our form. Now by default, this will say providing my phone number. So if you want to change this, click on the consent form itself and you can change the text of the consent form here. If you want to link to your own company's terms and conditions, you can highlight the words terms and conditions here, and you can actually go ahead and click on the link button here to start adding hyperlinks to your own terms and conditions. So going back, if we wanted to change phone number to email address, we would highlight phone number inside of this text box, remove that and change it to email address, and then this will automatically update that within our form. And then finally, if you want to change the look and aesthetic of any icons such as the button, we can click on the button and you can start editing the settings here, such as the text, subtext, the background color, your corner radius, padding, and much more. So let's say instead of a green button, we want a light blue button to start attracting some eyeballs to this. And then let's say instead of button, we want to change this to submit. And then let's say we want to change the corner radius to 20 and we want to round the corners of our button. Now we have a fully functional form with a first name, last name, email, consent form, and a submit button, which will automatically submit any of the information inside of our form into our contact database. So to finish this off, we want to change the name of our form. In this case, we're just going to call it test form 1. And then we can preview our form by clicking on preview. This will then preview our form in a new tab and allow us to interact with this form and even test it out. By going back to the funnel builder, We can also integrate our form by clicking on integrate. This will allow us to integrate the form to any third-party websites that may not actually be inside of our platform here. So we can choose the embed layout, we can choose the trigger type, the activation options and the deactivation options, and then copy that embeddable code or the form link and start embedding that into any third-party websites. And then finally, we can click save, and this is going to save our form entirely and then start allowing us to embed this into different elements inside of the platform. So by going back, we can now view our form inside of the forms menu, where we can start managing this form and editing it if we need to go back in and edit it. This form will now show up on all features such as calendars, funnels, websites, blogs, and much more as a custom form to embed into those options. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions whatsoever or would like to know some more information about the forms feature, please feel free to reach out to our team and we'll be more than happy to help.